something different. We have experienced something different. Um, and this month is no different. Um, we're at the end of August, and yet it seems we don't get better, we get worse. So, my son, when he learned about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I had to calm him down. One day he came home from school crying. I'm like, what's the matter? He was like, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is dead. I'm like, oh, okay. Yes. And then he tells me how he was killed by a white person. So we had to have that whole conversation because he didn't like white people at all. He was like, I'm never going to meet him. And that mattered to him, a black boy. It mattered that he learned about this other black man and he's never going to meet him. So I'm thinking, well, I can't tell you about Malcolm X, Medgar Evers. I can't tell you about none of these people because I know how he'll take it. My son is 9. He likes what he likes. So he ended up getting into Descendants. It's a movie from Disney on the Disney Channel. Descendants 1, 2, and 3. I don't know when he got into it, but he got into it. He says to me one day, Mom, do you know who my favorite character is? And just before the premiere of the Descendants 3 movie, one of the main characters, played by Cameron Boyce, died. And I was thinking to myself, please don't let it be that one. Of course, it was that one. So I said, oh, okay. And he's like, I can't wait to meet him one day. I'm like, oh, here we go. So I had to buy the Cameron Boyce costume from Descendants. I had to get the hair because my kid likes to dress up. So whenever he's watching a movie, he's got to play the role, okay? So I'm like, all right. So I tried to shield him from that for a while until one day he was on my phone and he came running to me. He was like, Mom. I'm like, what? Cameron Boyce died? I said, oh, hell. So now I got to explain this. So I had to explain it. He was upset. Like, upset. His world came to an end. So now he's always, and to this day, I mean, it's been months, but to this day, he will go on YouTube and watch old videos of Cameron. Like, that was his dude. Another person that he's infatuated with is Kevin Hart. So he loves, I was listening to Jungle Book. What's it called? Jumanji. So he's obsessed. Now, mind you, years ago I got him to watch the original Jumanji, but he loves the Kevin Hart versions. Okay, Kevin Hart is his favorite. All right. Then we get Black Panther. Go to the movies, watch Black Panther, and he is Black Panther all day, every day. I had to get the costume for that. Costume. I said he likes Jumanji, he likes Kevin Hart, so yes, he has a costume that's Kevin Hart's character. Yes, that's my kid. So, go back to Black Panther. Got the costume, got the mask, got everything. Every day it's the same situation. My son changes outfits like 20 times a day, okay? Whatever he's looking at, he's got to have. All right. He's got to be. Okay. So then last night, I'm chilling. He watching TV. He's supposed to be reading a book for school, but he watching TV. And then my mom is like, so like, what the heck's wrong with you? Right? Because I ain't saying nothing yet. So I'm like, what's wrong with you? Then we found out Chadwick is gone. I said, oh, well, that would explain why he didn't look so well. So then I'm like, well, who's going to tell Ben? Who's going to play Black Panther? That was going on in my mind because I had to tell this 9-year-old that Black Panther, the one that he wants to meet, he can't meet. So I'm like, oh, well, I ain't going to say nothing. You know, I'm thinking I can shield him from that, but then I'm like, I don't think I can shield him from that. He's going to see a lot of things on YouTube about Black Panther, and he's going to put two and two together, right?
Yes.
So then I said, Ben, I gotta talk to you. So he's like, is it good or bad? I said, it's bad. I couldn't even look him in the eye. Then I told him that the actor that played Black Panther is gone. So he was upset. Then, after like about an hour, he's like, can we talk in private? So I'm like, yes. Then he says to me, Mom, am I ever going to meet the people that I idolize, or are they all gonna die? Is Kevin Hart gonna die next? Like, he says that to me, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I hope not. I felt so bad for this kid. I mean, it broke my heart. The Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. one, I mean, when I say that he was invested, that broke my heart. Because it's hard to tell a kid stuff like that they're not going to really understand, and to talk them off of a ledge of not all white people are bad. I mean, he was like literally, he told a white person, you know, white people killed Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
And I'm like,
it's the truth.
Yeah, you're right.
but you can't say that to a white person like that. Because the way Ben says it, Ben can like cut you with his, it's the way he says things that hurt your feelings, okay? So, I felt so bad. And then I'm sitting here like, you know, everybody's in mourning at this point. You have Amanda Seales who's like, we need to pray. And then I'm thinking, okay, you're taking it a bit extreme, okay? This is not the effects of 2020, sweetheart. This is a man who's been sick for 4 years, as you heard the reports.
Yes.
He's been sick, okay? We're just finding out. It's not a blow because it's 2020, all right? He's been dealing with it. It's a loss, but again, he's been dealing with it. May he rest in peace.
Yes.
But I'm thinking ahead, and I'm not trying to be insensitive. I just want to know because I have a kid who idolizes Black Panther. And I'm just trying to understand, so who's going to play him next? Because, here's the thing. Heroes are recasted all the time. How many times have they recasted Superman?
Spider-Man, even more.
Spider-Man. I mean, okay. In this room,
Okay.
who played the best Spider-Man?
The current person. I forget the boy.
Yeah.
To me, the current
I
person.
should know
Because he was
who they
age
did.
appropriate.
Yes, very
It's age appropriate.
Oh, shit.
I got his face right in my
Is
head.
it Tom?
It's Tom something. I know he's from
I should know
overseas.
this. My son's obsessed with him too.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. Tom Holland.
Yeah.
My son is obsessed with him too.
Yeah. I think
So yeah, okay. So y'all think that he's
age appropriate, the things it fits into the universe well.
Okay.
And yeah, everything lines up.
Well, that's more because of our age and the comic book scene.
right.
okay?
Right.
All right. So Superman. Who do you think played the best Superman? I mean, and take it from the movies and the TV show if you're going to use the Adventures of
I
Superman.
mean, unfortunately, I would have to say the current also because of the
Avengers?
overall better, you know, the bigger budget, a lot better with, what do you call that, special effects and stuff,
Yeah.
and, you know,
Maybe Superman is very lagging at that point. Like they just keep recasting him because they know nobody really stands out. Like thinking that can continue a story with.
agreed.
Like so they just like up.
Also, Henry Cavill is the one.
Henry
who got
Cavill,
to-
yes.
That's the one you guys are
That's the
talking
new
about.
one now, but there was a guy who did that one shot, that one off of Superman. He plays in DC Universe now as somebody else. He was okay. That was when Superman Returns. He was all right.
Brandon Routh.
Maybe he got that weird nose.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
For me, I'm gonna say I fell in love with Superman when Christopher Reeve was Superman.
Oh, you were small.
I was small, but
I was-
that was me.
yeah.
That was Superman.
Of course.
And I didn't think
of course.
anybody else could play Superman until they came out with Smallville, and it was Tom Welling.
Yes.
And then I fell in love because I think they had 10 or 11 seasons of that show, and I was obsessed because it was a different take on Superman.
Yes, it was.
And it was from when he was a teenager, and I thought that was brilliant because it was a new spin on it, but he brought justice to the role. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I could see him as the adult, so I never understood why they didn't tap him to play Superman.
Because he wasn't doing a good adult Superman.
Why not?
A lot of people don't know the true history behind the
Easy,
whole
youngin'. Who's your favorite Batman? Keaton?
Superman thing, and
No, I feel
it's
because
been
he started
jinxed.
Oh, wait, hold on. What'd you say, Truth? Go
The
ahead.
Superman role has been jinxed with the original
People always dying.
guy who did it.
Yeah.
That's a big a role you can't get a lot of people to run to because of the history of it and the fact that he killed himself, wink, wink, allegedly. To this day, they still don't know. And he had a great career. Then next thing you know, he went through depression, went broke, started wrestling. And next thing you know, he wound up dead. And to this day, they don't know again, was it suicide or did he kill himself?
They say it's a death career. It's like a jinx.
Right, it's a
'Cause
jinx.
Everybody who's in it has been
Just
out
like what was it,
or kicked out of a main
The
movie part or
Rascals
something.
and a couple of shows are jinxed. The
Yeah, they said Little
Rascals.
Rascals. Yeah. Because if you think about it, every new Superman, with the exception of Henry Cavill, even he left to got to better roles. His newer roles in like Mission Impossible are better than the biggest story.
Okay, but the other person that I like was Dean Cain because I like the TV show Lois and Clark. I thought that
Now
was
Yeah, he did,
that's
he
a
did.
better version.
Yeah, that was definitely
I
a
can
good
see
one.
him as an adult.
And
That's
I-
a
and that's the
whole
other thing.
different
Why
spin.
didn't they tap him? Because I think he brought heart to. He made actually not heart. He made Superman more human.
Yeah, but that was the whole story of them, of that telling the Superman.
DC,
Fall in love, and that was it. 'Cause
when
that's
DC
exactly
made
what happened.
Superman, they made a perfect superhero,
Yeah.
which was a mistake. With all other superheroes, they have their flaws. When Superman came out, he didn't have any flaws. I mean, you can't do anything. Oh, lead? Okay, where you going to find that at? I mean, it just was like,
Okay, so
can't shoot him.
Okay, so having said that,
Go ahead.
who do you think they could tap to play the next Black Panther? Or do you think that Chadwick is going to have to come from heaven and tap the next
Oh, that's an
person?
easy one.
You
Who?
said come from.
That's
You
easy.
guys skip me.
Yo.
Y'all need to get his blessing. Y'all just can't be putting
I'm
nobody
so
on the net.
bad. You just beating the crap out of him. This whole
You gotta
thing.
do your ultimate universe or whatever, and you have to have Michael B. Jordan do it.
If y'all don't think Disney don't have a number two, and if
Michael
Michael
B.
B. Jordan,
Jordan.
hold up, here's my thing with Michael B. Jordan. If Michael B. Jordan didn't already play the bad guy, I guarantee he would have filled.
Well,
the
and see the thing
I
about
guarantee
it
he would've filled
in
the
the
role.
comic
Exactly.
in the comic book world, Killmonger's still alive.
Well, we know
And
that
technically, we didn't see him die here.
But
So
he's
I'm
like
saying,
Killmonger.
if you're talking the ultimate universe, they've done it before.
What's
Yeah, but
that
this
mean,
this
Ultimate Universe? I don't understand. What is that?
in comics is
In
different.
comics, where
universes.
like it's
It's
a
not a
different
movie.
it's a different timeline that where they can go with it and go because
Right.
he's
So you'll get
already
a bad
looked
Superman,
upon.
you'll get a bad,
He had that
Iron
big
Man,
chest. He
you'll
had
get a
all the
bad- yeah.
bumps.
No, it's no. What are you
There's
talking
nobody
about?
else you could get to play that's black right
Um,
now.
Nah, you know who they might get? They might
Who?
get that England dude, the dude who played in Get Out, who they just been picking for everything else.
No, he was in. He was.
He,
No,
he wasn't in Marvel. He wasn't in Marvel.
He was in that
never
movie.
Marvel. What movie? Oh,
He
yeah,
was. He
the
was in
Rhino
it.
Dude.
He was the Rhino guy.
That's right.
What's wrong with you?
Now, but yo, now.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's an easier
Hold on,
sell.
and this is the guy you're gonna tap to review movies, and he's like, "Are you kidding me?"
First of all, I gave more respect to Black Panther than you. You thought they gonna have to get him from the magical plant,
No,
tap him
I
come
did not.
down.
I said they're gonna
Come
have
on.
to wait until he gets his blessing.
He wasn't even trying to play that joint. And so only one thing you said to credit, that he looked sickly. And I said that years
No,
ago. You said he looked sickly. I explained why he looked sickly. He looked sickly when they did the first premiere of Black Panther.
Yeah, it was.
He was very.
That's
very
when he went through
skinny.
his
And he
first
started taking
stint.
his probably chemo.
He had his
Because I was
first
like,
stint.
he probably, we probably killed it. And I'm not saying he would have recovered or whatever, but you can tell he was on and off because he never had any hair or any other losses at the time of doing. Jackie Robinson was how long ago? That was over 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
So whatever the
Well, he
movies
kept
that
playing
he did
back
in between,
roles. Jackie
21,
Robinson.
21 Bridges. When he did 21 Bridges,
Okay.
They played the
you can watch-
bankers. Yeah, he was real skinny. 21 Bridges.
You can watch, in between the cuts, and you can definitely see, like, oh, this is a month or a couple of weeks in progression, like when they stop, and you can, if you got to pay attention to everything else. They did really good with the makeup, but you can see, like, if you really pinpoint the stuff, it's like, oh, something's wrong.
I'm not like just hilarious, and I'm gonna make fun of somebody who looks sick. I mean, I never saw a reason to make fun of him.
No, we're not making fun of him.
Well, here's the thing I would
But
say
the
about
thing is,
that.
it would cause fucking concern. Like,
There's
if
a difference between being concerned and making fun of.
When no one knew it.
No, no,
This
no.
was a
Who
great
made fun of him?
secret. This was a great secret because no one knew he was sick until the family
Exactly.
put out and
Exactly.
said. So this is what you could say is a gentleman who surrounded himself with the right people who loved him that
Yes.
wasn't looking for a good payday or to put some information out there because no one knew other than his circle and his doctors that this man was that sick. Most of the time when you see actors lose weight, they must be practicing the role.
Right.
Like when 50 Cent lost all that weight to do that movie, which to me is one of his best movies, the low budget one. And they were saying, oh, he's sick, he dying. No, he just lost weight to do a movie, but that was out way before his movie was out.
Right.
Right.
So the fact that this was kept 4 years,
One thing I will say though, he knew he was sick, and he decided to do certain roles. What they said because he wanted to have it out there how black people were portrayed as well. When he did that Egypt movie, he said you had all white people in it.
oh,
He said I had to come in and play that role because he was the black wisdom dude to show that black people were smart and show that to have that imagery. So he was very aware of what people think about that on there. So I give him that respect because a lot of other people don't.
Right. So the question again: who should play Black Panther?
we have no one out right now.
You got no one.
If,
Yeah.
unless you do an alternate universe and have Killmonger just, do a complete 180 and want to be good. But other than that, there are no young black actors that would command that kind of respect in that role.
Nope. What about the dude from the Lovecraft? You haven't watched the Lovecraft series, have you?
No.
Or the Five Bloods. The guy you watched the Five Bloods?
I didn't watch it yet.
All right. The big nose dude who was on the TV.
No, I don't want
Him.
a big nose dude. I want the one. Listen.
Oh my lord.
The only one
But
you
you
can
know what
get.
I'm talking about though, because I said big nose. You know what I'm
Well, I
talking
mean, no,
about.
the only-
Now, why can't you have him? He's super fit. He's tall. He's active. He's athletic. He fits everything the character stereotype fit is.
You would have to fit that. What was that? That light skinned dude with the pretty eyes from
The
that
one who was
Steve
Black
Harvey
Panther?
movie.
Oh, I mean not Black Panther. The one who was the original War Machine. Not why am I can't forget his name. Not him. No, he's too old.
The pretty no, he think he's too old.
Chadwick is in his 40s.
I'm not talking about Chow. I'm talking about the guy who played
Chadwick
in.
plays young. He can play young.
He's a black guy. He light skinned. He got green eyes, and he plays a lot of different roles. He did the Steve Harvey one when he was dating Taraji P Henson's character with all the money. And he was a chef. He was broke, driving the Honda with the missing bumper, or the car with the missing bumper.
Oh man, I don't know. You know what? There's a couple of good B
You don't have a lot of
actors.
black men. I can tell you
No,
that.
there's a bunch of B-roll dudes you can pick. There's a bunch of B-roll dudes that you can pick off of BET and train them up. You possibly
Please
could
train him up.
train them up to do it.
You gotta have
You
a
could.
big name to do that role.
No,
No, you do not. I
No,
don't
you
want
don't.
a big name. You cannot. No, I don't think they should pick a big name because it's a lot of pressure to put on one person, and we're gonna scrutinize that person. I think you need a no name. I think you gotta start from scratch.
So how about this? Disney realizes that we don't have any good leads. They kill the character off to cut
but
their
you
losses.
can't go to Europe and get them, or can you?
What do you mean? There's tons of people, black folks over there you can get. They're the most ones that act now. Most of those older people over here that act.
Well, I mean, it depends on the roles because they wouldn't let Idris Elba do 007, which was crazy to me.
Why
That's a
did they elect
European
you 007?
flick. That's a European. That's a well, not an English flick. That's an English character of an English flick that represents them. Yeah.
And
They-
and
they
he's
not-
from
they not
there,
messing with that.
and
Yeah,
they didn't
but
want
not
him
messing
doing
with
it.
that. No.
And then what? They're gonna make a white woman be the Bond girl? It's gonna cause controversy.
No, they're gonna pick another white guy.
Yeah.
I'm saying if it was him, Idris to do it, it's gonna be nothing but controversial.
Of course, over there, of course.
Yeah.
Hands down. But with this, I don't know. I don't think Disney will cut their losses because that movie made over $1 billion.
Well, they just did the 2, so the 2 is complete if I'm not mistaken, or I don't know if they finished
Nah, they
recording
didn't
now.
finish nothing because of the corona.
Then they have to start all over. It's a wrap. That whole movie
But that's why I said
is shot.
either they run the course of killing the character off.
Michael Ealy, that's the guy's name.
Oh, Michael Ealy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going based off of looks.
You said black.
And you said no. Why no? I don't know why you wouldn't have that other dude. He fits. He's in a great show now. He started and everything that was good.
He has a great track
you know what I'm
record.
talking about. If you Google it, the Lovecraft Country, that's the new show.
Lovecraft Company.
Country. And
Oh, him!
That-
No, absolutely not.
what? Why not?
No.
I don't think he's a great,
No.
better
Why not?
actor.
No.
And
Why
he did-
not?
Take it down a notch. No.
Why
The answer
not?
is no.
I don't think
No.
he fits
I
it.
would
I think he's too
because-
big.
Michael Ealy is a no to. He can't deliver what Chadwick did.
He's a better
try
actor
to-
than-
No.
he's a better
okay, he
actor
can
than
deliver with
Chadwick.
No, he cannot.
He's a better actor than Chadwick.
Why not? Why not the dude from
And he-
Lovecraft?
I don't see him playing that role.
Man,
I
just
mean,
be
he's
wise.
fit. He's fit.
That's what I'm saying.
But I don't think he's.
he can do the action.
He can do the action, but I don't think he's from their standards. I don't think he's as attractive. I don't think he's as attractive as they would want him
So
to
you're
be.
looking for a darker tone person.
Yeah.
You don't
You're
have
gonna
them out
like-
there.
And you're gonna have to go to the B leagues.
You don't have
You're
them.
gonna have to go to the B leagues.
All right, fine.
I'm talking about all the BET movies. There's some good dudes and you're gonna have to train them up, train their status to get them up.
What do you mean
I was
trainer
about to
status?
make a
It's not
joke,
trainer
but
status.
I don't
What
want
you
to do
gonna
that.
say?
Now I was about to say if you want to find fit black dudes, you just gotta ask Tyler Perry. But I'm just leave that.
You know what? You laugh. You're probably on the
Dead
studio
serious.
right now.
Well, then, Disney, you're absolutely right.
Let
So
me
then
get your camera
basically-
feed, Tyler.
No, so then that's right. So if you're gonna cast it, then you
Yeah.
might as well have Disney call Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry will find you a doctor.
Yeah.
He'll
All the
find-
B league dudes.
He'll find a fit black guy for
He
you.
will-
Hold on, I think I just can't. Well, hold on.
Yo, there is tons of BET.
Okay, I got it. I don't know if he could do it. But I think he could. His body mold, his looks fits it. He's not too dark. But what about the young guy from
Queen Sugar.
Empire? The young guy from Empire.
What young guy from Empire?
The
son.
twins. Well, obviously they both didn't play. What was that? Came the young dude, the rap,
Oh,
He
the
could-
youngest son.
the youngest son.
The youngest son who had the high top fade.
He had the high top fade. I mean, he has
From Empire.
from Empire. A lot of people don't know he has a twin, but
Oh, his twin, because he already have legal problems.
Who's having legal problems? The
Well,
twin.
who's the talking about from Empire?
The youngest
the
son.
youngest son.
Yes, Brashear Bernard, whatever his
Well,
name
yeah,
is. He's having legal troubles.
Oh, never
So
mind.
you're talking about he has a twin.
Legal troubles with what? He beat a girl or something?
Yeah.
Oh, damn,
He
You ain't
didn't-
seen
he-
his mugshot?
He didn't after
nigga.
that.
No.
Okay, he done. So you're saying no, but he wouldn't make good. But Kofi Sirgo.
Cerbo?
Bashir, yeah, that's his name.
Who's that? What's he from?
He's from Queen Sugar. I said his last name wrong. Kofi, Kofi.
Absolutely not.
Siriboe. Ralph Angel is who he plays. He could do.
No,
Yeah. What? Excuse me. You said no too fast. What?
no.
Again, you're saying.
I
no
used to
too
watch
fast.
Queen Sugar, so I know.
You're saying it too fast. Okay. He could play. Yes, he can.
He's too tall.
I don't care how tall he is. He's
But
fine.
other than his height, yes, he could play that. He was the pretty boy from the girls' trip, that one that was messing with the
Yes.
entanglement girl with
Yes.
the grapefruit.
Ah.
He can do it.
Thank you. I should be a casting director. I know what I'm
Now
talking
that, but
about.
hold
I'll
on.
give you
now,
Kofi.
now, hold on, real quick. That's what I mean. B League. He's not a standout.
Yeah, he's not.
And you're gonna have to put him in a Disney training camp. And when I mean training camp, not only like, yo, man, we're gonna get these abs right so we can hit
Oh,
this
he
thing.
can do it. Yeah.
But hold on. But I mean, they're gonna check the background. They're gonna do all the things. So a legal issue ain't gonna pop up. We're like, hey, we got to snatch this Negro off stage because he beat up 3 light-skinned girls.
No, I think.
Well,
listen,
they're gonna have to put him through the paces.
Okay.
That's what I'm
Let me-
saying.
All right. So, rest in peace, Chadwick.
This is real good.
However,
the man ain't been dead a day.
I'm thinking how they're thinking. I am thinking how they're thinking. I
You ain't
guarantee
busy.
you. When
Oh
they
yeah,
go
from a buzzer.
first-
But that you I give you credit, Butterfly. You
I'm with
definitely
you.
picked a
I'm
great
with
one
you.
there. I think he would be the ultimate fit. He's fit. He's great looking. He's that complexion, and he's only 26, so he's young. So you have to worry about. So I don't know if he's athletic enough to play an action role.
he'll become athletic.
They
You
can
guys
train
know.
him.
Oh, they will train him.
They'll train you.
Good pick right there.
I'm not being insensitive. I'm thinking
Oh,
how
no.
the execs are thinking because yes, their hearts were broken and they were in shock. But there's somebody on the line that calls somebody else and says, "So who the hell we gonna get?" Hello.
So what
So
you're gonna
that's
see
what
more of, you're gonna see a lot more. If the movie wasn't complete, you're gonna see a lot of CG.
That's just like when,
You're gonna see body doubles, and then put Chadwick's face on top of it.
They're gonna have to kill
Like
him
they
off
did-
in the movie and then bring the dude back. You get what I'm saying? Like the new king,
Right.
brother, cousin. You know, like how they did the thing. I guarantee you, they're gonna have to do something like that.
That's just like with the Fast and Furious. When Paul Walker died,
Oh, they should have let him down.
they hold on, no. The last one that he did,
It was
he
a couple of-
didn't finish the whole
he did-
movie.
They had the
But
brother.
it was
They
toward-
had the brother still
stand
in.
in.
They-
Right,
but
with the
that was only a
CGI.
couple of parts. But we
That
talking
was-
about.
What I'm saying is they had some parts where there's a scene where they were all looking out the window,
Yes.
and it was like a rollover. Like they just kept playing the tape over and over and over again because that was probably a scene that he didn't finish. And all they had was just that shot, and it just kept playing that shot over. So it was kind of
Yes.
weird. And
Yeah.
I was like, why wouldn't you have that conversation with Paul? But Paul wasn't there no more. They didn't finish taping that part. So what I'm
Right.
saying is, if they had a almost complete movie, they could get away with him not being there and having a fill-in.
They already said they had just started pre-production.
Well, the thing
And
about
before
that
this-
is he is the main actor. It's not like he
Thank you.
played, other stars where you could kind of like sheer it off like he is the star of the movie.
And you know what's so crazy?
But you said it right, though.
What's the white person take on this? Because that's why I said I'm gonna have to kill him off and switch it out. Because it's not like with Don Cheadle, where the homie messed up. He was already a side character. You know what I mean? And he's still a side character. Talking about the guy playing one. What's the what? They done spent. It was a good part of those $1 billion. Let's give them their credit. I'm just saying, what's the white person's take on it? Because just how you don't want to see certain people, they're not gonna walk in there and be like, "Who the hell is Coffee Serbu?"
No, the white person.
Am I wrong?
I'm the
I
white
make a
person.
point?
No, I'm the white person. I'm the one that called you to say who's gonna play him.
No.
I'm
That was the white exec. The white exec was like, "Yo, we can get $2 billion, but homie just passed. So should we worry about our stock options?" Which is, I'm worried about my stock options because I got money invested in them. Like, damn.
I don't think the stocks are gonna. Nothing's
What?
gonna happen. What are you talking about? Because people are gonna be in mourning. Okay. My thing is
Okay.
that if you're going to cast,
I'm telling you,
you're
I'm telling you
not
on
going
Monday.
to replace him with some big name. You gotta get, like you said, a B person.
No, I know, but I'm saying, but here's the deal. So they invested a couple $100 million into that movie. Recoup, way past the recoup. They got over $1 billion in profits for the movie. So here's the deal. This is how the execs look at it. Should we give another $130 million with a no name or a under name? Let's call him an under name. I'm not going to give. Let's say
Okay.
Cold Coffee,
Okay.
and I'm expecting to get back another $1 billion money, a film.
Well, they lost
Just
their money already
because.
because they added Beyonce to the cast.
Beyonce the what cast? With Beyonce may have to carry this movie. I'm keeping it funky.
Then no one's gonna see it.
I'm
What the
keeping it
hell are
funky.
you talking about? You're fired.
So that
Yo,
movie-
we talk about money right now because Beyonce is the only name, the main name at this point in the movie.
She
I'm not,
shouldn't even be in it.
I'm not saying she's a good actor.
No,
I'm just saying.
You have the light.
I'm just saying by money. This was on. Oh my God. One more, I don't want to call him Don Cheadle. Who's the gentleman who just passed? I forgot his name. Black Panther. Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman held this movie.
He did. He's a great
I'm
actor.
not gonna say he held this movie. Hold on, he was
I mean, he had some-
surrounded.
He has great
Surrounded.
actors.
But they came because of what the movie stood for, and it was him in it.
Here's the thing: you have Michael B. Jordan, Letitia Wright, Lupita, Daniel, whatever his last name is, K.
That's the brother.
Sterling
Yes.
K. Brown, Winston Duke.
It was a plethora of actors. You even had
Bassett.
Angela Bassett
You
in it.
throw Beyonce in it.
That movie made $1.3 billion.
Thank you. So here's my point. No,
1.3
because
billion.
You can't switch from executive to regular person now. The regular person is what I mean by what the white regular person going to see. They're going to be like, oh, now they got me the big nose Negro. No, thank you. He's not Wakanda forever and for me. You know what I mean? I get it, but that's when I look at it because this is going to affect their stock.
So that movie only cost $200 to make.
200 million.
$200 million.
Yes.
$200 million to make, and they made
Not the biggest payday for
No.
all the blackety black
Oh, no.
stars in there. The good.
It was the
acting
only
stars.
movie that was predominantly black. I think
Yeah.
you had 2 or 3 white actors.
with a black director.
Right. And it cost $200 million, and he made $1.344 billion.
So now, when we do the
So,
division
yeah.
over that, they expect
That's
to
over
get that
$800 million
or
profit.
more.
Damn, that's
They
over
may
800.
outdo themselves if they cast the right person, and I think that
They'll put
Kobe
something
is
into
the
it.
right person. Because one, you're going to gain more women to go see it because the man is fine.
That's not the flick that they selling. Remember, they all sell family flicks.
It is family.
You ain't gonna-
It is family.
you ain't
I'm
gonna-
gonna bring my family to see this fine black man. It is family. What you talking about?
Good luck, dude. Good luck.
A lot of women who don't look at comics or watch comic movies,
I'm with you.
They went there because Chadwick looked good as hell.
I'm-
all right?
So they
Look,
went for
let's
Michael
keep
B.
it funky.
They went for
Mike
Michael
B was the one who was topless.
That's who they
Yeah,
went.
Michael B.
Mike
That's
B
the
was
thing.
topless.
They was looking at him. Women looked at him.
They were
because
drooling.
He looked good. Men went there because it's a comic. It's Black Panther. They was on another level than us. Other people was just there because it was a big hype. They wanted to know what the hype was about. And then people just fell in love. There are people who don't even read comics, know nothing about comics.
You're right.
That went to this movie to see the
But
movie.
that's because of the way that they made it. Yes. So
Well,
how is
it was a
maybe
very
without somebody
well-made
to carry
movie. They
the
picked the
last
right
one?
director to do
You
it.
gotta give a person a chance. You
I
have to
can't-
give
I
Kobe a
can't-
chance. can't.
I can't make the Butterfly show without Butterfly, buddy. That's what I get.
You have to
They're
get
gonna be like, I'm Vanessa.
What I'm saying.
That don't work.
All right, fine. There's a
That don't
scene in the
work.
movie where he visits the ancestors, so let's take Kofi, bury him, and see if he talks to Chadwick.
Which is what I said before. They in the writing of it, they're gonna have to kill the character. Yo, he died off scene. R.I.P.
Well, I mean, I would say he died here,
Well,
sinned,
resurrect Kofi.
and
Kofi.
came back as someone different, or his soul or embodiment. Something magical
that's what
happened.
you- yeah.
They'll play it. I mean, they have great. Jason.
Okay, oh, so you're saying he can still play Black Panther, but not T'Challa.
Well, no, I'm not saying that.
Oh,
What I'm
yeah,
saying
not
is
T'Challa.
T'Challa has
Not
to,
T'Challa off.
Yes.
Right.
And then bring him
And then
in
bring-
as a new king.
as a new king or
You see what I'm
something
saying?
happening.
I
But that's
want
why I said
T'Challa-
it.
Salvageable, which is change his
Right. To me, the best way I say is bring Killmonger.
Yeah, it's the
Killmonger.
same thing if they were gonna do Killmonger.
So
Yes, yes,
basically,
yes.
what
And
we're
do
gonna
that.
do is, or what they can do is, we're gonna open it up with the funeral for T'Challa.
You can do that.
Okay, so that way we can bury him in peace and be respectful about it.
Yeah.
And then we'll rise up a new Black Panther with a different storyline.
Well, I mean, this is both of your point. Where, as far as from a business standpoint, like Jeff said, the moment that went out,
Well, my check, goddamn.
executives got together and started working on Plan
sure.
Z.
Yes, yes, yes.
But they
Like
need to
people
hire
got
us because we already figured it out.
because soon as I guarantee you, when Disney got the call, writers got woken up at 3:00 in the morning.
I was already
Yeah.
woke.
We need y'all at the bubble.
We wrote it already,
Yeah.
Truth.
We need y'all at the bubble, and
We
we're
wrote it already,
gonna
Truth.
come up with
Where's
something.
our check?
Hey, look,
Disney, where's our check? Because we already wrote it for you. We got the whole storyline.
catch that 6:30 flight on Monday.
There you go.
You're gonna need to
Alright.
Wait, what?
Come on now. It was like 1, 2, 3. If you want to contact us, please go to Truth right here.
That's what
Okay?
I'm saying.
We wrote it for you. So now we're going to scrutinize you because you ain't give us a call.
Yo, you know, on some real shit, you know we gonna analyze the hell out of that Black Panther.
Of course.
That's the
of
I
and,
course.
don't know.
and that's the thing.
Yo, my
Chadwick
man
would have
wasn't
did
gonna
it
wear
better.
Nikes.
Yeah,
He's gonna
yeah.
be mad as everything for any little thing. that's
I
wrong.
feel like I'm gonna be
He's gonna
pissed
so
off
mad.
if they cast
So
a new
mad.
person and it's not what I told y'all to cast. Like I'm
Oh, you
gonna
know
be
that's
pissed
Well,
off.
I mean, you hit it on the head. I had to remember him, and I was like, you know what? That would be perfect. He has the little.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's clean faced, but sometimes he has a little beard. He has a little fro. It's perfect. He has
I think
he's a little
Kobe
taller, but he still has the same
is
build.
Perfect.
I agree
I'm
with
gonna
you.
have to what? I'm gonna have to tweet and stalk the hell out of Disney and tell Ryan Coogler, no, he's not doing this one, right?
They tapped him to come back.
Did
He's
he say
supposed
yes?
to.
Well, here's the
That's
thing
but
with
that was before Rona.
Here's the thing with the situation with that. Okay, they gave him a $2 million budget. He gave
200
them.
million.
Sorry, they gave him a $200 million budget. He turned around and gave them an $800 million profit. So now they got to come back to the table.
Which they
Every
weren't
movie
expecting.
he's done has made hundreds of millions of dollar profit. So now you got to come to the table, just like you want to pay Spielberg, you want to pay all these other directors and producers, you got to pay this man. So if they came to the table right, then of course he'll do the movie again. But if I gave you an $800 million profit movie, I need shares. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I want a percentage, just like
I need a piece of that box office.
just like when what's the name was done? What was the Titanic?
Oh,
They
yeah.
didn't have enough money to pay the actors, so most of the actors, like Leonardo DiCaprio, said, "You know
took the
what?
box office.
Give me a piece." That movie made $1 billion. They came off like fat racks.
Yeah.
I'm talking about hundreds of millions of dollars for one movie.
Okay, so Disney, Jeff and I are available.
There you go.
Our boss is Truth. I'll take percentage. I think it's like 10% he gets. But we literally came up with the whole idea, the concept, and we know how to make it work. Okay, so
You gotta
in the
just
event that Ryan
timestamp
is
the
not
date and the
available,
time.
We'll take that 200.
You got to time state the date and the time.
We'll take that 200. Listen, I'm letting you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we together, and it only took like really 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But speaking of movies, did you listen to Reflections 2020 by Christina Aguilera that just came out yesterday?
Christina Aguilera made it award?
So, well, it's Reflections from Mulan.
Oh,
she redid
okay.
it.
No.
It's absolutely superb. I
Really?
think that it will be nominated for the Golden Globes. It will be nominated for an Emmy. It should be nominated for an Oscar. She outdid herself. Now, you know when they play the soundtrack to a movie and when they have the video, they have shots of the movie in the video? Okay.
Yes.
So Mulan isn't out yet, but it's coming out on Disney Plus.
Yes.
Okay.
Next week.
That made me want to see the movie even more. I was like, how you gonna have it without Mushu, right? And I was like, they ain't singing or nothing. So I was like, I don't know if I want to see this. But that, watching the video, the music video with the clips in it,
Yes.
I was sold. I said, yo, this is going to be deep. But then I was thinking, is Mulan going to survive? Because the way a girl's singing, I'm like, I hope she survives, right?
Well, that was the scary part. I didn't think the fact that Disney put that much into this movie that they actually were going to just release it on their platform and not wait for the movies.
Well, it's an extra $20 on their platform.
Yeah,
Even
you
if
already
pay
you
for
already
the
know us.
service.
We don't even pay the 20, but for those
I don't
other
want to,
people,
but because I saw the video, I have
I gotta show up to your house and download that stuff for you. Your house ain't got to worry about none of that no more.
Spoiler alert. They said the dragon's in there.
Well, I don't know how the drag. I don't think it's going to be like a comedic.
Oh, yeah, nothing. It's supposed to be like a serious overtone, just like Lion King and all that.
But
yeah.
I mean, hands down, I have to say, when I lost hope in Christina Aguilera, that hope came back. Now, when she performs this song, Reflections 2020, at the awards show, this is my message to Christina. I don't need you to overdo it. I don't need you to do a different rendition. How I heard it in the video is how I need to hear it on stage. No, listen, you play it for yourself.
We can't
It's
get a live band?
Absolutely phenomenal.
Well, she's talking about the way, because like with a lot of people in it, well, a lot of artists, what they do is when they record it
Yeah.
and they actually go to perform it, so it's different. Well,
Okay, true.
a big part of it is different. And what I don't think with her you would have to worry about that because we all know the young lady can sing.
Right.
And for a lot of other artists, it's different. Just like the whiskey guy, Chris Stapleton.
Okay.
When he performed it live, everybody was shocked because it sounded like just like it was recorded. Like he can actually sing. So for those people that can really sing and they can't just hold the note, that's when they start playing with the song a lot.
So when we end this show, I'm gonna need for you to play it so you can hear what I'm talking about. Why I said what I said.
Gotcha.
Because I need for her to sound the exact same way. Do not change not a damn thing. Because I'm gonna know, you're gonna know, and everybody else is gonna know that she changed it. It is extremely powerful. But
Okay.
watch the video with the clips of the movie because it's gonna make you want to watch it even more.
Is it only powerful because of the video,
What?
or is it just a great song?
Oh, Reflections. You heard the original Reflections. It's still a great song.
Okay.
But
okay.
I think she has. It was the teenager singing it versus
Yes.
the woman, and the maturity in her voice when she sings it,
Gotcha.
the vulnerability, and then
Gotcha,
with
gotcha,
the clips
gotcha.
of the movie, it brought all that together.
Okay.
And I was just like, I was sold. I wasn't sold before. I was like, oh, I'll wait till it comes out on HBO or something. Now I'm sold. All right, and then the interesting part is when she starts singing and you're looking at the clips of the movie, you see the innocence of Mulan and her transformation, and I
Into the
think
woman, yeah.
that played a role in it too. It was like, whoa. So the music helped the movie actually.
Okay, good.
You know what I mean? But just if you listen to the original 1998 version or 1990, it's the 1999 version, and then you listen to the 2020, you'll hear it. If you're musically inclined, you'll hear it. You should feel something.
Yeah, soundtrack can carry a movie.
This chick, Christina, is the mother effing goats. Okay, you can't listen to nobody. It's like listening to Christina and then you want to listen to Katy Perry. Like the two
Oh
don't
no,
even match.
that's totally different.
Well, you gotta stop that because
This
like.
This is when I say that Christina Aguilera is back because she's had some slip-ups.
Well, that's
She's
when
back.
you could tell she was, the birth and marriage, and she was trying to find herself. But you
She's
can
back.
never. Okay, all right. So I would say this: she wouldn't be the Mariah Carey. Like we all know, Mariah could sing at a point, but now that she's trying to come back, it's just totally different because she's like 70 pounds overweight, and she refused. She thinks it's everything else but her weight. With Mariah Carey. You ain't gonna hit those high notes no more until you hit those 5 crunches. But I mean, Christina has always had that powerful voice. Like we never questioned her being able to sing.
Like I said, she had some screw-ups about Mulan coming out,
Mm-hmm.
in my mind, I was like, who's going to sing Reflections? Because in my mind, I only thought of Christina, and I didn't think anybody else could do it. And so she wrote a piece on Instagram saying she was extremely blessed that Disney contacted her and asked her to do the song again. And I read the comments on YouTube where someone said they thought that not having Mushu in the movie would be like, you know, an end game. But they realized you can't have Mulan without Christina Aguilera. And when you hear it, you'll say the same thing. It's like they go together. Like seriously, they go together. So I'm excited for the film. I'm excited for you to listen to the track because she outdid herself.
Okay.
And I'm like, Christina, I need a strip too because out of all her albums, Strip was the best album that she's ever put out. And I'm like, if you just give us a strip 2, we'll be good. And then I can forgive you on a lot of things. Okay? But yeah, so again, Disney, Jeff and I are available. You have to talk the truth. So work out the funds. But we literally wrote Black Panther 2 for you, and we casted who should play the new Black Panther. And I'm sorry if y'all think that's insensitive, but the white people over at Disney was already on the phone having that conversation.
Immediately.
At the end of the day, it's a money thing. They're already in production. They have to do that. It may come off as insensitive, but it's business.
R.I.P. Jeff.
Okay?
Shout out to the whole team, man. Like, I love the fact that they were able to keep this so quiet, and especially because a lot of times when we talk about a lot of things, we always talk about, oh, if this would have happened back in those days, you know, without all the social media, and now that with all the social media things that has been going on, the fact that the family kept that tight knit. I mean, I saw when, you know, I'm like, you know, dude about to go do another role. That's why he's so skinny. I never thought of sickness because you didn't have any inklings of it.
No.
I thought the same thing.
Especially with
I was like,
cancer.
Here in a
Yeah.
role because I know these actors gain and lose so frequently, depending on what it calls for. If they could do that, and he always had a smile on his face.
And that's
Went
the
out
thing.
like a
Everybody
champ.
said he was very good-tempered.
Yeah. I mean,
And
that's
for him to
like
think
with
about how
Stuart
his role
Scott.
affected people. I
mean,
gotta give him all the credit.
You
in the
knew
world.
Stuart Scott was sick because, you know, he's in the media, but the man fought from to the last day. I mean, this is a man who's pretty much dying doing MMA training.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
you know he didn't let that stuff beat him or change the way he lived his life. He went out on top.
All right, so back on schedule. The RNC was this past week.
You was
And-
happy. Oh, she started smiling when she said it.
What?
The new Republican. But go ahead.
Exactly.
I'm not Republican. Oh my gosh. And a lot of people were upset because the Kentucky Attorney General, Daniel Cameron, made an appearance in a speech and had the audacity to mention Breonna Taylor's name. And people want to know why he's not arresting the cops that killed her.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he having a bridal shower? Why is he even getting married? Where is his family? Why is he not doing his job? How do you know he's not doing his job? So Daniel went on Fox News, and he had an interview. And of course, Fox, they asked him a question about Breonna Taylor and what's going on. So the update, if you care to know, is that he said that he's waiting on the FBI for evidence on some things that, whatever it is that they're looking for, and then they're going to get right to it. He wasn't really put forward he wasn't really forthcoming
Yes. There you go.
with the information. But to
I
me,
got you.
he is working on it. And to all the people that keep going to these protests and getting arrested, listen, everybody has a job to do. Just because you don't see anything happening doesn't mean nothing's happening behind the scenes.
True.
A lot of times, you have to do things by the book and do it the right way. If the law people, I want to say like the Attorney General, if he were to just rush and just go ahead and arrest people, you make mistakes. And then it could be something so simple as, oh, you didn't read him his rights. Now the person gets off because it's a big deal. Or you didn't do this, or you didn't do that. So in a case like this, you want to cross all your T's and you want to dot all your I's. So you're out here protesting. You have people like Portia Williams from the Real Housewives of Atlanta going out there protesting and getting arrested. And, you know, you've been getting arrested a lot. And I'm trying to understand why is that? You know what I mean? I know you're not violent, but are you making this like a career for yourself? Are you doing it for attention? I find it funny how you find the time to leave your child and you're going down to protest for this girl whom they're working on. I mean, the FBI is working on the case, and Attorney General, maybe he doesn't look like it, but yes, he is doing his job. Y'all don't have to be told everything because they're not going to tell you everything. Hello. They have to do their investigation and have to do a complete investigation. Just like what they did in Chicago when they were able to tell you everything about Jussie Smollett. They had to get all the facts. We don't know everything. So you can't get mad at him because he showed up at the RNC. Are you mad at Joe Biden for showing up at the DNC?
He's at the RNC?
Because let's be honest, he was in his basement during the epidemic or the pandemic. He doesn't answer questions from the media. Okay, he doesn't have a real plan for black people because on day one, he's all about trans rights. So again, you're mad at the Kentucky AG who was actually speaking because number one, he's the AG and the first black AG of Kentucky. You can't celebrate that. And he is doing his job, ladies and gentlemen, just like the FBI does their job, just like the CIA does their job, just like regular cops, regular lawyers, district attorneys, they all do their jobs. Just because you don't see it, sometimes you just have to wait. You sitting here, you know, having protests every day isn't going to help the situation, especially when you're not listening to what is being said. And you have to let people do their jobs. All right. So, speaking of Kentucky, after the RNC, Rand Paul, who's a senator of Kentucky, faced the mob and was almost attacked. And here's the thing. Many of you don't even know who Rand Paul is. Y'all just be attacking anybody. You're screaming Breonna Taylor. What about Breonna Taylor? Black Lives Matter. What about Breonna Taylor? Again, you're attacking Rand Paul, a senator from Kentucky. Do you know who he is or what he's done? Jeff?
Oh, you asking me? Oh, you want to hear my rebuttal?
No. He,
Yes, I know he is.
remember that no-knock warrant?
Yeah.
So what did he do?
With the no-knock warrant?
Yes.
What did he do with the no-knock warrant? Oh, didn't he, if memory serves correctly, didn't he say it was illegal or something? No.
He made it illegal.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
They changed the law because of the situation.
Right.
But I'll let you finish because I'm going to tear everything you said apart.
That's okay. But my thing is that he was one of the creators of it, okay?
Yes.
So you're all sitting here attacking this man. You don't even know who this man is. But you're screaming at Breonna Taylor, and he's the one that was like, well, I'm the one who put it forth to Congress. What are you talking about? First of all, you have a right to peacefully protest, okay? You don't have a right to go around attacking people. You're getting mad at officers attacking unarmed black men and women, but you don't have a problem attacking regular people, senators included. Like, we can't keep attacking each other. It doesn't make any sense. Again, we have the right to peacefully protest, not attack each other. Especially, but then again, wait a minute, what am I saying? We have black on black crime every day in this country. Well, maybe we're used to that. Maybe that's what we do. We attack each other. You know what? Scratch that. If we don't care about the lives being lost every day because of black on black crime, then what am I talking about? Truth, go ahead. Never mind. Next.
He does. I want to tell people this. You cannot, and we say this all the time, you cannot compare Miss Breonna Taylor situation with Mr. Floyd's situation. And with the reason why her case is going to take so long, and what's taking the Trifina, be with you 1 second. That's taking so long to get with that situation is because Brianna, they're working on a mount. That's all they're working on. You're not going to see anyone go to jail with Breonna Taylor. It's not going to happen. You
They
could
don't
turn.
like that truth. They
Hey,
don't like
it's the
that
truth.
you said that.
You could go blue in the face. You got it, Jeff? The comment. You could,
Oh, no,
you could get blue in the face all you want, and the reason why, if anybody is going to do anything, it will be the gentleman that shot outside with the blinds covered and just shot blindly. He will be the only one. Now, for the sergeant and the other individual, it will not. You know why? Because they will fall back on all they were doing is following their orders.
All right, now we got to protest and a riot outside because you said that you can't be hitting people like that with the truth. Truth.
I got a question. So you said assaulting? They assaulted Rand Paul? Excuse me.
Well, it was a mob, so they were
Or
trying to.
did they confront him and swarm around him to where his things are there, but not assault
Or his
him?
things were there.
Security. Excuse me.
He had a cop, and the cop
Security.
had a bike to get him to go back.
Security. Beat the ass. Security should be shooting because I feel threatened.
But no, but here's the thing. What are you talking about security? Because
But security,
Biden
somebody to block you.
wants to defund the police, so therefore there's no real protection.
Biden does
But-
not want to defund the
Oh,
police
but he
at all.
changed his mind?
Biden had an interview on Channel 7 and he said that.
Whoa!
You didn't watch
Biden
it.
had an interview?
You didn't watch that. Him and the girl, Kamala.
They
You didn't watch
interviewed?
that. Yeah.
Since when?
And they're going on Fox to interview too. I'm just letting you know. Tiffany jumped in here with the
I
Black
got it
Panther.
right now.
Alright.
I got it right now. I'm sending it to her.
But as a senator, they just want to confront people who are in charge, who they think should be making this power. Just like
Time out. When did he go on an interview? Wait a minute. I didn't know he does that.
last week before the RNC. They did, but it was already pre-recorded.
That don't count.
It was pre-recorded a couple of days before, and they already addressed that.
Oh, please. All right. So
I'm
you
just
guys wanna-
I'm just telling you.
He wants us to wear a mask, even if you can walk outside.
Did you
by
watch? No,
yourself.
you didn't watch it. So they're far apart, and they're in a huge room because it's atmospheric.
Before he said that, but now he changed his mind.
Who changed his mind
Hey,
about?
the mask.
What are you talking? All right. So here's the thing with the mask. They finally found out how the fucking virus is being transmitted.
Oh, how is it being transmitted?
It's atmospheric.
It's
It's atmosphere. So it's just like you spraying Lysol, and you ever spray Lysol in the light. You see all the little particles. Some go up, some go down. They all mob around someplace.
So
Some
it's
hit
what,
the wall.
airborne?
You got it. It's airborne, and it comes out of your breath, and it comes from here. So the more you're in a place where people are surrounding you, and it's enclosed. So if we had 7 more people in here, and one of these motherfuckers had it, and we all talking up a storm, and nobody's wearing masks or anything, it's a good chance that shit has landed on you. You get what I'm saying? And the only thing that maybe can stop the thing now is maybe they saying the HVAC system, a really good HVAC system, which things, guess what? 99% of our buildings do not have, because they're
So
old.
I just watched Outbreak last night. So this is just
Outbreak, the movie?
Yeah. Because remember, the guy came in. They were at the hospital.
You talking about the monkey?
Hospital. Hold on. And then again, the monkey. And the guy came in from an auto accident, and all of a sudden he had symptoms. And then my man looked up and saw the vent and traced it to the other room where everybody was sick. And he says it went airborne.
Yeah.
So basically, it's airborne.
That's what they're finding out now. So that's why they really want the people to mask. The more the mask, so let's say if I had it, it lessens the amount that I'm spraying if I'm just constantly
So
talking.
you guys actually believe that though?
No.
The atmospheric shit?
Yeah.
No.
I totally believe it.
You do?
And
Yeah.
I thought it was airborne from when, remember when that crazy guy went on Channel 7 talking about I got on the plane and that shit hit my eye? He got in there and I was like, shut the fuck. I was like, no, nigga, no.
No.
So what happened was, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you have to pay attention to it if you're overcrowding. I think this shit was airborne. The only
The
way
only
that it could
reason
spread that
I'm a
fast.
little skeptical on that is because they've been getting a lot of backlash, and the government does this all the time. There's a difference between policy and law,
Yep.
and policy.
They haven't made.
Well, I'm saying it's fact
any
because
law to
there you
stop
can't
malaria
for
yet.
technically lawfully, you can't stop someone from wearing a mask.
No
You
need.
can't. It's just unless you pass that law through legislation, and you got to tap everybody pockets for that, and ain't nobody doing that. So there's a difference between policy and law, and I think them coming out with that whole airborne now is to help them try to pass this law
Come on.
with mandatory wearing masks, and
Come
on top
on.
of that, profiting from it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because
No,
right
there's
now,
no-
all the
there's-
masks
wait,
are
wait,
coming
wait.
from China.
But there's no profit.
Well,
in
all the
the
masks are coming
mask.
from China now. This will give you time to get an American
Come on, Trump.
company up and running to get these
America
masks.
is sold
Because
to
now
China
they have
for
the
Biden.
different kind of masks where it's more of a
And
stretch.
Trump too. Don't get it twisted. Trump is about the economy.
Well,
He needs to work
Butterfly's a
deal.
Republican now. She switched
Well,
parties
I
already.
don't know what she
But
doing.
a
Trump
lot of
making
them
deals
now
with you.
are, they're stretch masks now. They don't have the hook behind the ear anymore mask. They have the mask, because I have one
So
now
let-
where
so
you
let-
just
so
pull
let-
it
wait.
and put it over your face.
So hold
now.
up, but hold
Now,
up.
thank you,
Here's
Trump.
the deal with the masks. The masks are gonna die in about 6 months. Because once they come up with that vaccine, that
It'll be
they're gonna
mandatory.
force it. Nope, they're gonna. We don't need a mask no more. You got the shot. All right, what do you think?
That's a lie.
What?
What's,
You are
what is the
bugging.
vaccine going to do? What's the vaccine
You
going to do?
can't make. Huh? What do you say? What do you
What's
mean?
the vaccine going to do? Is it going to prevent you
It's the
from getting
same
it?
stuff. Like I'm doing.
Well, the
everything.
big thing would
Like
be
the flu. It's the same
getting
thing like the
people-
flu. You magically.
Oh, sorry,
okay,
not
for
not
this
getting.
symptom-
The
oh,
problem would
strain.
be forcing people to take the shot, and the only thing that would save us is the Jews.
But that's the whole. But no,
Who
that's
have
the
a
whole
lot
other
of
battle.
power.
But that's the
Wait,
whole
hold
other
on,
battle.
Wait. You said the only thing that's going to save us are the Jews.
What I'm saying is from the
From
power
taking the
where
shots.
if you're going to force us to take it, you got to force
Force
them to take it. And I'm sorry, people who don't know where we're located in the tri-state area, and we're near Teaneck. And that's what happened to all these other schools who are going to be in physically school. And in Teaneck, where there's a large population of Jews, is the only county where they're still like virtual.
New York too. Westchester County has the
Yeah.
whole
I'm virtual.
community.
Well, no, I'm saying in certain county now, certain other parts in New York and Jersey are physically going to school. But a county where it's a large partial population of Jewish community, they're saying, oh, virtual. And we're being saved by the Jews.
So, yeah, he's right. So, if you're going to make everybody take the shot,
This
the vaccine,
vaccine shot.
then the Jews have to take it too. And if the Jews and the
Would
Muslims have to take it too. And if they say
Oh,
no,
they don't mind forcing the
I
Muslims.
take
They're
it.
just not going to force the Jews. They don't
They
mind.
can't force Muslims to
They
take
don't
it.
mind forcing
No,
the
they don't
Muslims.
mind forcing
I say they don't mind forcing Muslims to do it because they look at the Muslims faction as only being black, which we know it's not a fact.
Oh.
or Arabic.
Right.
Yeah, you know.
Right.
They
So
don't hold that much
right.
money.
So but Jewish, which is considered, oh my gosh, pure and everything, but at the end of the day, you would have to force them to take the very same shot.
Look, all I'm saying is the mash stuff is going to die down once that vaccine starts getting hyped up. Once they be like, hey, we got vaccine A, whether y'all take it or not, that's not my. That's
Would
my
you
point.
take it?
What are you talking about?
Would you take the shot?
I ain't
Oh
taking
no,
that
I'm not
shot.
taking the shot. But here's my thing. I got no problem with a mask though.
I feel you though,
I
right?
I go right back to the concert
Listen,
with two masks on. I'm in the movie theater eating butter popcorn
I
to a mask.
movies. I got it on my TV.
You lying.
I'm not.
Black Panther 2 come out, you gonna be right up there, out coffee.
Disney
all
Plus.
that.
No.
Nope, they ain't putting it on Disney.
I'm not going to AMC theaters because AMC theaters
Owned by the Chinese.
owned by
Go-
China.
go
I
to
ain't
Magic
fucking
Johnson,
China like
whatever
that.
it
Except
is.
for Mulan.
Now Mulan and Magic Johnson did, and you the first one there, right?
No, it's Mulan. It's gonna be on Disney Plus.
Oh, I'm just saying, if they put the thing out,
It's
in the
gonna be on my
theater-
No,
phone.
we have to wait.
It's gonna be on my phone, which is an i9 Plus. I ain't paying for nothing. But no,
Let's
it's
talk
is.
about, okay, so you're not gonna take the shot.
You talking about me personally?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me ask you this.
But I have no problem wearing a mask. I do believe in the mask, and I do believe for crowded areas. I hate everything, and I'm not doing that either. And you can't force me
I
to
feel you, I
policy.
feel you.
So that's
For those individuals who have the problems or the issues with the mask,
do
then
what y'all
yeah,
wanna do.
the shot will work for them. But like I said, I don't mind, and I don't think any of us in here mind. But again, I will not take a shot that I don't know what's going. And I'm
Hello.
shit, I'm the
I'm
oldest
with
one
you.
in the room already.
I'm
And
with
then
you.
you got my man Mr. Chadwick who passed away at 43. I'm 46.
Well,
So what is that going to do to
So-
my body?
So this is how I look at it too.
I'll say this: he got out of taking that shot.
Shots fired.
Shut up. Look, I say it like this. It's just like the temperature. Why are you checking my temperature, dude? The temperature ain't got nothing
Means
to do.
nothing.
It means nothing.
Nothing.
I saw
It's just to
if you go to
keep your
Atlantic
thing
City,
up.
I see where they had the whole screen or something. And it
Before you
showed
come in, yes, to the
I
thing.
saw somebody with a 99.9 temperature. I'm like, okay.
Well, our body is normally 97.
Yeah.
That's
But what
our
I'm saying
normal
is
body
that-
temperature. But let's say you had a big hat on, or you were in a crowded area where your temperature rose a couple of
A
degrees.
toothache can raise your body temperature.
Absolutely.
But hello, so why are we taking temperatures? It
But
doesn't
that's
make
the
sense.
only-
Because they said it and they
All
made
right,
a
so-
blanket statement, and everybody ran with it. Oh, if this is one of the main symptoms, which it wasn't. You get what I'm saying? So people followed it as like, oh, this will help prevent and separate us from the herd.
It's called money.
Not.
It's called
And
money.
that too.
And
That
this is the
too.
reason why.
So-
None of these companies, not even Amazon, this $1 trillion company, wants to pay to have that instant test or that couple hour test where you have to test every individual that walks in your building every day.
The regular test was $2,000.
Right. So, and that's where it falls. We don't want to pay the money to have that test done on site and to have it be done instant and to hold up production of work. So the only thing we can fall on is checking your temperature.
Okay, so speaking of money, the NBA had a boycott for one day.
The way you said it.
Oh, they did. They should- Nothing
No,
wrong.
it was her normal way of saying it.
How was boycotting for one day
Exactly.
supposed to? What's the right word?
Effects.
Is that what we're looking for? Affect what's going on in our world right now?
You have athletes. We're talking about multi-million dollars athletes that this kind of situation really doesn't happen to too often. Stand up, and they would consider a kind of black symbology and say, this game, our black lives is more important than this individual
Who's
game.
Black lives?
And the fact that it was done during a playoff game and not just a regular game. And then when you had other athletes across the world not practice and not play.
So all right. So here's what I think, and it's all hypothetical. Don't do wrong eyes. What are you doing? What are you doing?
She's the new Republican.
Like,
They keep telling you that.
cut
She's
your
a,
mic off, please.
she's a Republican now.
Look at this. So, as it affects, in the grand scheme of things, did they go out in March? Did it make a sense? Does it that they have peace and everybody's names, and you saw the WNBA participated too in it? Yeah, gotta get a woman credit. I'm an equal opportunist. Gotta give the woman credit. You saw with the bullet holes in the back, right? They up the ante. Don't roll the eyes. Come on now.
It's bullshit.
Come on now. All right,
It's
hold on.
bullshit.
We let you roll. But hold it. So it shows that. So this is we just listened to the whole thing about data. How many non-black people, it's full of black people playing the sport? How many non-black people profit or watch the NBA? More than black people, right?
I wouldn't say that.
I would. Come on, dude.
What I'm saying is,
so let me give,
we're the ones buying Jordans. It's not white people.
We're not talking about Jordan because Jordan just pertains to a sneaker, which is Nike.
Yeah.
Right.
They're the only one to benefit.
Right,
they're
but
not,
they're- right,
not
they-
like, yo, NBA, here's the backside.
Right,
Thanks
right.
for letting them wear.
Right.
So here's the deal. When I say that, if we're only 13% of America, and most
Facts.
people, and the majority of Americans like sports,
Okay.
mostly participates in the majority of sports, blacks, right, and Latinos, and people of color. White people are there too.
Right.
We're not gonna
Sprinkled
discount
out.
them.
Sprinkled out.
But it goes there. They're trying to say you can't just enjoy us, but then disrespect us on the backside. Whether this is taken seriously or whether they're just like, take a night off. Because here's the deal, they made that bubble to have days off. That's what people don't know, because this really didn't affect money. This didn't affect the Disney.
It was postponed. It wasn't like you lost
No.
a day. You could reschedule the game.
They
Well,
The
are.
whole thing is bullshit.
The
But that's
network
the thing.
did lose
That's the
money
thing. They
because,
didn't lose
again,
anything because
you-
it was made
it's just
to
like
have
the-
the postpone.
It's just like the Super Bowl. You have to buy ads for that game.
Yes.
So all those games, those commercials, they are still paid for.
Stop. You have LeBron James talking about how, he's scared. And I'm thinking to myself, scared for what? You make millions You don't even live in a black neighborhood. You got security. You don't live in the projects. You're not waking up every day wondering if you're going to get stopped by the police. Y'all don't live that type of life. Okay? Y'all are privileged now. Once you started making that money, you became privileged and your kids became privileged. Okay? What?
That is the reason. You never had that ability to go into those neighborhoods then had to worry about that because I left. If that's the case, I feel safer in that neighborhood because, okay, if the racist cop will stop me because he's doing that beat, but he thinks I'm Joe Schmo, regular nigga. And then Joe Schmo, regular nigga on the corner, they getting another one of us. Compared me living in that neighborhood, getting pulled over to the side, and my neighbor who knows me is watching me be assaulted and not saying a word. Like, yeah, that's LeBron James. Beat that nigga ass. You know what I'm
But
saying?
he doesn't have that issue.
Yes, he does. His
How
kids
does
have that issue
How?
because he lives in that neighborhood.
What neighborhood?
These rich white neighborhoods that
Yes.
don't respect him for being that. So you want him to go back down to one to where
What do
he'll
you mean
get
go
them?
back down? I expect when you make millions, I expect for you to take that million and put it back into your community.
Which he
buy a property.
does.
He does.
Do you see what
He's
did
giving
in
way
Ohio?
more. He's giving
the
way more
only
money
nigga
than anybody.
That even been in there.
The-
That's why they hated him for
any
leaving.
athlete, he's giving way
No,
more money. School
That
systems
is
and
one
stuff.
who is in there.
Yeah.
You can't
My
argue that
issue-
point. You can't argue that point.
My issue is that you all sat here and boycotted a game for what exactly? What is your purpose? You boycott because a man was shot in the back 7 times.
It's not just the man, and I don't mean to cut you. It's not just the man. It's the point. Because if
The
you
point
get
of what?
if you get shot 9 times for going home from here, God forbid. I really on some serious shit. God forbid. But if that happens to you, something like that in one of these situations, that's the point because it's able to happen to you with ease. That's why they protest.
My
Well,
issue here.
It's like when you walked in, we were talking about videos that was posted. You might have walked in during the conversation where there's a white guy waving a knife at a cop, and the cop's running around the vehicle away from the guy, and multiple other videos like that. So their thing is a white man can. There was another one where a white man beat 2 cops up, took one man's taser, tased him, and then took his police cruiser. And this is not an over-exaggeration. That's exactly what the man did. But then you have a black man walk away and get shot in the back 7 times, and the guy's nonchalant, just popping him like he's a gangster in the back like it's nothing, and then the man will never walk again. Whereas as far as that white man who literally beat up 2 cops, took the taser, got in the police cruiser, and pulled off, or a white man who could shoot up a black church gets Burger King on his way to the police station.
Okay, so it's a lot deeper for me than that.
Well, I would say it's go ahead.
So you're boycotting because you're tired of the police brutality,
Yes, ma'am.
but you won't stop playing. And you boycott for a day. Okay? Here's my issue. If we're gonna boycott, then I'm expecting us to really boycott. Like y'all got mad at Gucci because Gucci is racist. So Gucci hired a black person. Now you love Gucci again. When I expect you to boycott, I expect a long boycott, meaning when I said I wasn't buying Gucci no more, I meant I wasn't buying Gucci no more. You could hire 10 black people. I'm still not buying Gucci anymore.
No, I understand
And
that.
I refuse to buy Gucci. That's what I'm talking about. If you're going to boycott the NBA, the NBA,
NBA, you got it.
because of police brutality, then I'm not expecting you to boycott for a day because it's convenient. Like someone said, you basically just took a day off. I'm expecting you to say, oh no, we're not playing, period.
They still got to.
I'm expecting you, it doesn't matter.
I'm
I'm
with you.
expecting you to take that L. I'm expecting you to say, I'm hanging up my jersey. I refuse to play, period, because I am tired. He said, I am tired of this shit. So if you are tired, then you hang it up. And
Long-
that is it.
as long as
You're
their
not
landlord
watching
gonna
me no
say,
more.
cool.
I don't care how much my money is affected. You're going to do what Colin did. You're going to sacrifice. If
Okay.
you're willing to make that sacrifice, then make that sacrifice. You
I
got
feel you
other
on that.
income
I feel you on
coming
that
from
one.
other places.
I feel you on that one.
Now, I'm going to take it a step further. If you could boycott for police brutality, why are you not boycotting for the black-on-black crime that happens damn near every single day?
Chicago.
Why are you not boycotting
Chicago.
the foolishness that goes on every single day? If we want to see real change in this country, especially when it comes to black people, then black people better well get it together and start treating each other with respect and stop all the nonsense.
Well,
But
that's
I'm just saying. So if you're gonna boycott, then I want a real boycott, not this one day doing it for the glitz and the glam and for social media because you sick and tired of this shit and we don't even know the whole story. Y'all get mad because dude is strapped up to a bed, but y'all forgot that he had an active warrant out for his damn arrest for some sexual assault. But that's neither here nor there.
that was false.
Yo, yes.
Before you-
It
No,
doesn't
no.
matter.
Allegedly. We
No,
want to put that.
no.
No. You can say what you say. I want to say allegedly because it's not
Okay,
true.
allegedly, but here's the thing.
Go ahead.
We always jump to conclusions and we never hear the whole entire story. I can't even get invested in everybody's protest because I never hear the entire story. I only hear one side. You have LeBron James talking about, well, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? And then you see another video where they did do this and they did do that. And it's like, okay, sir, before you speak, can you get all the facts first? But since you want to be so vocal, how come I don't hear you talking about when when the Africans were kicked out of China? I didn't hear you say nothing about that. Why is that, LeBron? Because you got so much to say about police brutality, but you can't talk about people getting kicked out of China.
That's on their talking point. That was on their talking point in his contract. None of them were trying to do that because the NBA is invested in China.
I'm sorry, but I thought we were trying to fix shit. I thought that we were boycotting. So I don't care if that's in your contract. If you feel strongly about something, black man, then stand the fuck up and say something, black man. I don't care what's in your contract. You got money. Right is right and wrong is wrong. That's just it. So y'all boycotting for one day is bullshit. I don't take you seriously. There's nothing serious about it. If you're really serious about it, then do like our ancestors did when they boycotted. They boycotted the bus system for how long?
Oh, that happened for months.
It
to a year.
Nigga pennies add up too, baby.
Okay? So,
We're-
I'm sorry.
Which-
But if you're going to boycott, then that means that you're going to hang up that jersey until something happens. That means, guess what? Then you're all going to be bankrupt. That means that the NBA is going to be bankrupt. And then guess what? If we want real
I see
change,
your point.
somebody going to call somebody and say, get the shit together because I'm losing money.
I see your point.
You made good points. I'm not gonna knock you on that. Two things. I just want to ask: should we be asking NBA players outside things outside of sports?
No, that's my other shit.
So hold on right there.
I don't like it when the NBA. I don't like
That's
the
not them.
African football, period.
That's the media forcing that. They could have been like, "Yo, how was that game? The jumper was great." No, how do you feel about that Negro that we just shot
No,
up?
I hate
Like,
that
no.
because if say
I'm
you're
on
butterfly
game.
black guys does
Shit sells
sports.
papers.
Okay, say I do sports.
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
every third Saturday we focus on sports. And I got people from different places coming up here and we talking sports. I ain't asking you nothing about nothing political. I'm asking you about sports. Why? Because people love sports and people love the game and I want to know some things, okay? If I got an opportunity to interview LeBron James, I don't give two shits about what happened yesterday and who got killed. I want to know about why y'all wasn't putting up points. Why are you trailing? This is the playoffs. What are you doing?
That's
You
like
see what I'm saying?
TMZ. TMZ was the first to put that Kobe died before the family even knew. You learned that your father, your mother, whoever it is,
Right.
died from TMZ, not the police. Proper channels.
So now we're talking about the theory of media. This is what people study. I study. You understand? How much is this worth? Really don't care. Sports can only get this much of our interest. It can take our physical time, but talking about it after the game is over, we don't care.
Facts.
I don't care. You can't do a 3-hour talk about a football game. It's
Why
not
would I do
happening.
3 hours
Now
talk?
I'm just saying in theory, none of that can be. So you kill all your ESPN shows and all that stuff there. They have to bring these big people in to the real world. That just gains views and garnership. I'm with you. I don't think you should be asking them because you always hate the answers they say. No, don't kill a black
And
person.
then it's controversy, and then you kill the person on
But
their
that's what-
opinions.
that's
It's like what you asked.
That's the point. That's the point of the media.
It's all about
I want
views.
you to give a bad thing.
When everybody's talking about the same
So-
thing, but I need you to watch ESPN instead of watching YouTube
Right.
and this and that. It's all about
Right.
different angles, getting the better views, the better people going to your sites, checking your sites
totally
up.
forgot
So
about
it's
that.
financial, unfortunately.
Oh, you forgot.
I totally forgot. You talking about this? We totally forgot. It'll probably come to me later. Go to the next one.
Anyways, I think that's it. I think we're out of time.
You want to keep going? We
No,
keep
you got
going.
time.
We got time?
We got
We
time.
got time.
Oh.
Today we got time.
We got time today.
Oh, okay.
Want to talk about the
I
gentleman?
gotta say,
We see.
It bothers me because no, seriously, it bothers me because I don't always want to hear politics and real world stuff when it comes to sports. Like,
Yeah, you want to
me, that's-
separate it. You want to
I want
separate
to
it.
separate it.
Right.
Because
But
I can't put the two together
for the
because
past-
if I'm watching it for entertainment purposes, I want to still be entertained.
So I'm gonna give you a little bit of homework, right? For the past 2 years, and I'll say for the past year, because this year's been a wrap and we haven't had sports until now. Go back and think about all the highlights and controversies with the sports stars and see how many of them happened about things that were outside of sports. And compared to, yo, you missed the shot, you lost, or something like that, you will see, like, oh my God. All we do is ask these people about things that don't do that. That's all they do. I'm
Right.
with you.
So real quick, for our next thing. So I was witnessing black conservatives arguing with each other over I don't know what. Here's the thing. We have Angela Stanton King, who's running for Congress in Atlanta's District 5, I believe. Then we have an ex-officer, Officer Brandon Tatum, and his wife. They used to be cool. Both are Republican. Brandon is white, black, and he's married to a white woman. And for whatever reason, every single time a black man marries outside of his race, it's an issue. Now, here's the thing. I used to think it was an issue.
Okay.
But then I realized it's not so much of an issue because you date who you want to date. I can't get mad at you for doing what you want to do. It's your life. Just like you can't get mad at me as a black woman if I date outside my race because I could do whatever I want to do.
Correct.
That doesn't mean that you don't love your own race.
Right.
But I draw the line when you basically go after and attack another person's spouse because they don't have anything to do with your issues. So, two people who used to be cool with each other are no longer cool. But Angela came out and started attacking his wife, and it just didn't sit well with me. And my thing is that you're running for Congress. This is not how you act. I get that you have a social media platform, and I get that you want to do lives and give your viewpoints and arouse your followers. But don't forget that you're running for office. And here's the thing: your phone keeps blowing up because people are trying to tell you to stop doing that. You're over here with all your opinions. Sometimes keep your opinions to yourself. You don't have to attack. It's a few black people that are conservatives, right? It's only a little bit of y'all. There's no need to attack each other, especially when nobody came from you. It's like you sent for him and he didn't do anything to you. And Angela, I like you, but I don't like what you're doing and how you're becoming. I need you to focus on what you're doing right now. You said you're writing a new book. And then you said that you're running for Congress. I need you to focus on that. I need for you to reach out to Brandon, and I need for you to apologize because you were wrong. You were wrong. And it's just, it doesn't matter if he's married to a white woman, brown woman, Indian, Asian woman, who cares? He found love. He used to date black women, and then he stopped dating black women, and he started dating white women. That's his prerogative. That doesn't have anything to do with his beliefs. Then he went so far as to say that he was a wife beater. Angela, why are you doing that? Again, focus on you running for Congress. Because you're a Republican and you're going up against powerful Democrats. Focus on running for Congress. That's it. Focus on getting people to your side. There's no need for y'all to go back and forth with each other. It's not going to work. What are you going to say?
I had a question. That was the only reason she was attacking him, because he had a white wife. And
No. So there's another.
verbally attacking him. Excuse me.
There's another black conservative, King somebody. I guess it started off with him being sick and somebody going on Instagram to do a GoFundMe. They needed to raise money because he's in a coma or something like that.
Okay.
And she had made comments saying, well, how unprofessional it was for the person to be on Instagram Live with a black screen asking for money and nobody knows who this is and if it's even validated. That's what she was going off with. And she wasn't wrong on that. If you want people to give you money, make sure it's valid. And I agreed with her. But then people started coming at her saying, oh, they're not really friends. It was like all this drama that I I don't know about, and it was too much for me to take. But at the same time, I'm still thinking to myself, but you're running for Congress. You shouldn't be getting caught up in this stuff like that.
Right.
And that's what I was thinking of. And then somebody mentioned Brandon and her thoughts on him. And then that's where she kind of flipped the script. And Brandon never said anything until a couple days ago he went on live. And he kind of broke it down saying that they used to be real cool with each other.
Okay.
Which makes me think, Angela, what happened? Because, again, you're coming unhinged. I need for you to stay focused on what you're supposed to do. Because Brandon came out and never disrespected you. He just pretty much said he doesn't know what happened. But, like, seriously, you came after his wife. He's going to defend his wife. Just like she defends him. He found love. He's happy. He's got a son. He's happy. He's got a son with a black woman, for crying out loud.
So
He's happy. Leave him alone. And then you want to go by, people are mad because you get the invitations to go to the White House.
right.
Like, come on. Focus. Stop being petty and focus.
So I got a question. Do you think her showing this lack of decorum gives leeway or an example of how she'll be as a senator? Excuse me.
I think this is, number one, I think it's going to hurt her. Because she's not coming off as professional.
Mhm.
So, if I was rooting for her, and I was, but now I'm like,
Why not? The only thing
I
that has
still
changed
want her. I
is
still want her to win,
her.
but she needs coaching, and I think she needs a new team.
Okay.
Because clearly you can't control her. Not that she needs to be controlled in that way, but you're not polishing her to the point where she looks good in front of people.
So, but anybody can vote for. Can run for anything they're eligible for as long as they meet the minimum criteria in the United States. So. We talked about this, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, when we went over Trump versus everybody else getting into the
last
office.
week,
Similar things, except for the sleeping with people and all the other stuff that they're accusing Trump of. Similar things. You come at me, I'm gonna get you 10 times and your mama this.
Before you finish
You know
that,
what I mean?
before a couple weeks ago, there's another YouTube guy, Tommy
Sotomayor.
Yes. So she went on, not a few weeks ago, like maybe a couple months ago, she went on his show.
Yeah.
And when you watch his show, like in the top corner, he has like money up there. I guess people donate.
Yes.
And
yes,
surprisingly, he told her towards the end of the show that he was giving her all that money.
Cool.
I was like, yo, you a stand-up guy. Like, I thought that was for him. And he was going to give that to her campaign. I was like, yo.
Fair enough.
Then all of a sudden they started beefing. And I said, what the hell is going on here?
On the show or after the show?
Way after.
Okay.
And then he went on his platform to basically tell his side of the story. And what really hurts my soul is I believe him. Because
Well, so what'd he say?
so basically, she, being a married woman, allegedly was trying to hook up with him.
Tommy.
Yes.
Okay.
And he said that he's wrong in the sense that he's always flirting with, his guests. That's what he does. But he was thinking, lady, you're married. Like,
Right. I mean, no seriousness of it. Yes. I mean,
Yes.
nice and flirty.
So
Right.
they had a falling out, and they were going back and forth. And I'm like, again, you're running for Congress. This is not how you're supposed to act.
So another episode of a lack of character.
Maybe.
So again, when we say we were talking about in a nutshell for the last couple of weeks, professionalism and decorum and having this attitude and why, I was like, yo, take the phone away from the home. Whatever you can think what he think and everybody has behind the scenes.
Right.
But don't be blasting it out. These are the things that they look for because it shows character. This is the second reason now that gave you, I was rooting for you, homie, but you know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah, I'm like,
what's up?
I'm losing faith that you can handle yourself because
Exactly.
you're doing things that are off-colored, and then you want to sit here and talk about, you have love for your husband's a grown man, and then you post a picture on Instagram, but then you turn off your comments because people are going to come after you because, see, you said one thing, you try to place it like Tommy was in the wrong, and then here comes another man, basically just telling you the truth of what happened.
Yeah.
What he gonna lie for?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, if you're wrong, then admit that you're wrong. So just say that you found him attractive and you were trying to kick it. But I shouldn't know that because you're running for Congress. Anytime you go on your platform, It should be about what you do, what you can do for Georgia, and just schooling people on what's going on. I don't want to hear about your personal business. I don't need you attacking other people. I need for you to get people in your corner if you want to win. Right now, you're losing people because it's too much drama and it's unnecessary. It's like, this is the woman that's running for Congress. What are you doing? And who is in your camp that's not having these conversations with you?
Yeah.
Okay? It looks sloppy. Anybody can run for office, but you have to have some type of professionalism. I mean, come on. That's just like Cardi B saying, yeah, I'm going to run for Congress. Or no, I'm going to run for governor. And then she's going to sit here and make a video of her titties popping out. You going to vote for that? In the broken English? No.
Most
you're not
dudes
gonna vote
would.
for that. It's like, what?
Again.
I'm supposed to sit here and I got this woman with her titties out? No. Here you are, arguing with people, flirting with people. Stay focused. If you want to win, stay focused. Wondering why you could have been invited to the RNC to sit there and watch, but you know why you wasn't invited to speak? Because you, come on, you're saying you know why. But I'm just asking, as a person who actually wants you to win, focus and cut the nonsense and just be about what you're doing, because it's going to hurt you, and then you're not going to get people on your side. People are going to look at you funny. So,
I get you.
yeah,
So, lessons we learned.
lessons we learned. All right, so we're going to move on to Joe Budden. So, allegedly, Spotify was going to give him, I guess, some money. And in the
Asking or you
contract-
telling? Go ahead.
Asking.
You brought it up.
I don't listen to his podcast because it's like always over 2 hours and I just don't have the time. Like if I'm listening to a podcast, it should be between 30 and an hour. If it's really juicy, maybe over an hour.
So
So if you're listening to me, that's a plus.
So,
But Joe Budden, it's just like, y'all listen to him because he's Joe Budden. I don't get it.
When's the last time you listened to this podcast?
Actually, it was a snippet. Maybe like a month ago.
Okay.
I forgot what the topic was. It was
Okay.
a response to something. But it was like literally 5 minutes.
It was a 5-minute snippet. Him talking in a piece about whatever it was.
Right.
Right. So, when's the last time you listened to a full podcast? Years ago?
I never listened to a full podcast because one day he was talking, it was a long time, and I realized I was listening too long. And he lost me, so,
So he lost you and you never got back to it. Fair enough.
yeah.
So, what brings you up to this topic? Because he got an 8-figure deal.
Okay, that's more than what we get. Go ahead.
No. They offered him an 8-figure deal based on all his properties. They
So he
want
got
all
millions.
his properties.
Okay.
A billion. It would have been $1 billion.
Oh, billion.
8.
Okay, yes, billion.
Damn. That's why I get a calculator. Stat. Do we carry the 5 and round up?
Thank you.
I'm gonna tell you like I told Truth because I had Truth listen to it today. You don't gotta listen to any of the pre-shows, like the previous shows. What was hitting the news now, and Charlemagne was talking about it,
Oh, God.
which double back. He had an exclusive deal for the past 2 years with Spotify, which ends on September
23rd.
23rd,
Oh, he got facts, dates. Go ahead.
because he's on his last 6 shows as of today.
Okay, so, and?
So they were doing a renegotiation. He knew he got the short end of the stick, but he wanted the data of how his show will do on one DSP, so one area. He doesn't go out to Apple and everything else. He only works
Only
through
on
Spotify.
Spotify. Only on
And
Spotify.
YouTube, they allowed him to do the YouTube for video 2 days after, not even the same day.
Okay.
So he gets the pay from the YouTube that goes directly to him and his team. Spotify within 8 months. That's why I said listen to it. It's in the he talks about it for the first 40 minutes, and then today again for the first 40 minutes. Very, very, very informative, especially to you as a podcaster, because his whole thing was how much is a stream worth. Spotify takes 70% of what every music stream. goes for.
70.
Spotify was going. He already recouped a 2-year deal in the first
1 hour.
Where's 1 hour, right?
1 hour.
Okay.
Okay, so that was a six-figure deal.
No,
He made a
last
six-figure
year.
deal. No, I just want you to know.
No, I got it.
I just want you to, but in 1 hour, I already made my what you already
A
paid
2-year
me.
contract he
in
paid
2
for
years.
1 hour.
Okay.
That's very, 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 very big. So they already evaluated his show, his one show. The shit he does with Diddy, they wanted to take that at a lesser rate. The pull-ups that he was doing on his own, the other videos that was just him and the artist talking about stuff, he was doing a pull-up thing on YouTube and not PayPal. What's the other one?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they were paying him.
But go back to Revolt.
Yeah.
So they wanted to take that.
They
and do
wanted
what?
that show. They wanted everything you did with them, all IPs, all to own the intellectual property, own everything.
So they wanted to buy it.
No, they wanted to own it.
They wanted to own it.
And his back catalog. So meaning, you don't own any of this. You can never use the Joe Budden name as a business. You can never
Okay.
use. No, that's your name.
No, I'm saying.
That's what-
okay,
you get what I'm saying?
Yes, I get it.
So you were losing way more.
Okay, that was
than
a
$1
stupid
billion.
deal. I don't even know why Spotify would even come up with that.
And that's what he was telling them. He said Spotify, in this deal, he was supposed to hit a bonus for being number one. He was number one past 8 months. It's like on Spotify charts. They was like, nah, because the way this is done, and they talked them out. They said, nah, we're not paying you a bonus. I was number one by your standards. You moved the goalpost.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So he was like, he kept getting beat. And I'm giving you the gist. He goes over to talk about why he didn't do Tidal in the beginning. He went to Spotify. Spotify said they would give him the data. Spotify gave him the data only up to 8 months because they realized that was the most important thing. Because then he got the true evaluation of how much he's worth.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like you doing a YouTube video, and then they're like, yo, we're going to give you $1,000 if you hit 1 million. But how much did you make? You know what I mean? They
Right,
weren't
Spotify
straight on ad
sucks.
over them. It was a bad deal.
a very bad deal.
Tidal wasn't giving them any either. That's his homie.
Who's to tell me?
Hove. They were cool.
Listen, friends ain't always your friends, especially in business.
But they kept it G. They was like, look, we're business. But
I mean,
who
don't
knows,
he
man?
work for the feds? Why would you even link up with him in the first place?
He worked for the feds. Well, what's wrong with that? You
Ain't
respect
that lady
police?
that worked with him at Rockefeller? Isn't she a known snitch?
What lady that worked with him?
What's her name?
Talking about the
old-
lady that
that old-
6ix9ine put on blast. She told on the Mexican cartel to get out of going to prison, and she
worked with
his
Joe?
number. No, she works with Jay-Z. She's his pretty much number two.
That's Rockefeller. They cool. He on the team. You get what I'm saying?
And it
I
wasn't.
get
It wasn't 6ix9ine. Choke said it first. 6ix9ine watched Choke, and then he said it
All right,
after.
but-
That was funny. He was watching popcorn, watching. That was hilarious. I mean, the thing is, unfortunately, business is business.
Of course.
And what happens, you have a lot of companies that don't practice good business, which as far as, okay, I gave you a 2-year deal. Now just think about it, 2 years, okay? He paid for his 2-year contract in 1 hour. They crashed Spotify. That's how many people tuned in to see his first show. So in order, in for his data and everything that he wanted and everything, he paid for his entire show already. So from a good business sense, you would think someone would say, okay, wow, we undervalued you. Let's go back to the table so I can give you more money so you won't go anywhere. But what greedy companies do is they say, he's bonded contract for 2 years. I don't care. And now they come up with this situation now where, as of September 23rd, the #1 rating on your network is going to walk out the door and will not go back to the table because of the past 2 years. You've been shoving it up his rectum. And now you can't, just like similar to David Chappelle, we're going to give you $6 million, but we want you to do more race jokes. We want you to do more black, cool stuff. So now he's saying, okay, you got 6 more shows. We did the 7th one Wednesday. We're going to do it. And then when we're out, we're going to take the #1 podcast on your network and bring it someplace else. So from a competitor, wink, wink, Apple, or any of these other guys who would want a piece of this show the same way Spotify did. They're gonna have to come out the yin yang for it.
Who work on Spotify? Y'all dumb.
Well, this is the whole thing. Is like I said, as far as greed, you have somewhere who's looking at numbers, and it's just like, all right, so you own the company, but you want to let someone do it, just like football. All right, so I have it. I'm going to hire a general manager, and then I'm going to hire a coach to do with it, whatever, however they want. And then if I don't like it, eventually I'll step in. And this is the problem where they should have stepped in a long time ago and reevaluated his contract, and now it's too late. So now, if he goes somewhere and does another one-show deal, then Spotify won't even be able to show the like we do. You can see our shows on Spotify, on Apple, and a lot of other platforms.
Hey,
He won't be in-
Spotify.
I'm not saying hey. You said you dumb and stupid, but hi, how you doing?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah,
at the end of the day, we're nowhere near that level. But it's just more lines of, if you can take the number one show on a billion-dollar company like Spotify, the number one podcast on that entire network, and take it and bring it somewhere else.
When you compare it to things, especially when like he was trying to separate himself from the Joe Rogan, but he already did numbers bigger than the other big comedians that everybody else got in the podcast. Spotify went out and brought podcast companies, and all but the podcast companies, any of those shows that were with them, then none of them came close to his show, like bringing in the money.
Well, I totally understand.
You know.
$2 billion is what Spotify is worth.
And they gave
$2 billion.
They gave Joe what, 7 figures? They gave Joe Rogan 7 figures on it.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
And his show's nowhere near. But this
And
is
it's not exclusive.
right? And that's the whole thing that we go as far.
Joe Rogan even has one. It's just,
Well, I mean, people would be amazed at how popular MMA is, but it's just more lines of.
he ain't talking about
He's
MMA.
not talking about MMA. That's
Well, I
the
know I'm
funniest
not, but
thing.
I'm saying that's where
the
you know.
funniest thing, yeah.
But that's the whole thing as far as, like we say, like the right people in the wrong situation. So you have the same company offer the same people 2 totally different deals, and then Joe Budden's show as far as overall ratings is up here, and Joe is nowhere near it, but yet overall he has the better deal. And this is where arrogance and maybe skin complexion will backfire on that company. So,
Spotify, what y'all doing?
hey, he got the wrong person in the wrong department, and it's going to cost them big. Because
Yeah.
again, not your number 2, not number 57, your number 1
Yeah.
in podcasting is walking away from your company.
But I do want to say this.
Shoot.
Your number 2 and number 57 should probably listen to that last couple of episodes, because right there, Joe told y'all what was going on. So
Oh, he put in one
if
episode. He
Spotify
put
hit you up, you already know the
I
playbook.
suggest anybody who podcasts listen to the last 2 episodes.
He just basically told
You don't
y'all
even have to.
everything.
You don't even have to worry because somebody like you, like, oh, he lost me. Nope. Right in the beginning, nice and sight, and you can get out.
Well, I don't have a deal with Spotify, so.
I mean, technically we do,
Yeah.
but it's just
Not
not
on
on
that
his
level.
level. But at the end of the day, it just goes to show you.
Give us 6 figures, Spotify. We ain't really gonna complain.
I
You good?
don't know if we're talking about
I don't
exclusive
know.
rights.
Yeah,
Me and
yeah.
Jeff will have to sit down and talk
Be
about
mad
that.
when
But
they can't call you Emily no
I ain't
more.
doing that.
You
But
be mad.
it's just more
No,
lines.
You can't have that. I mean, you can say
Right.
this, but you can't have.
But it's the business sense of it to where
Yeah.
you have some companies like the Tyler Perrys, who will take a bunch of small companies, and he made Atlanta what it is today. You can say whatever you want. People who film movies film it in Atlanta now.
Right.
Well,
It's
they're
not filmed in
filming
California
Max
anymore.
Hollywood.
Well, I'm gonna say, but before he went there, no one was doing that.
Right.
This is the guy who you could call him whatever you want. You could talk about things behind his back, but
Right,
all
that's
his
what I
shows,
said, but then he
but-
went to his grand
right? But
opening.
all his movies and all his shows are predominantly black, which is the
Right.
complete opposite of a lot of the other people out here.
Oh, it's funny because Charlamagne called them. Said, "Oh, you may be the problem instead of Spotify." I was like, I don't know, Charlamagne, because
Right.
you don't own a lot of your stuff,
I'm
and
sorry,
a lot of your stuff you
Charlamagne,
did.
Are we still talking? I mean, cause
I mean, the man-
you
the
did
man-
have to deal with HBO, then they dropped your ass.
He's
right?
worth a lot of
But
money.
That's why I said everybody needs to listen to today's show,
Right.
Because he rebutted with your same
But
thing.
and that's the
How'd
whole
you
thing.
walk into the doors and they walked you right on?
Well, that's
out?
it's the street
Hey,
mentality.
I missed that one. I don't listen to
No,
Power
I'm
45 no more.
No, it wasn't.
It's the
Joe
street
Budden said
mentality.
that to Charlamagne.
Right.
On Joe's
He-
show.
on Joe's show. That's why I said you need to listen to these 2 episodes.
I'm gonna have
They're in the beginning.
Now it's fucking juicy.
But
you
see
give
that-
him the first 40 minutes, and
Right.
you can walk right on out. Trust me.
But that's the whole
he
thing.
hit you right in the beginning. This one for you.
So what
Boom,
he
boom,
say?
boom,
Are
boom.
you gonna
It's
make
the-
me
it's the
watch
street-
it?
It's the
I'm
street
paraphrasing, but
mentality.
You need to listen to it because this is the Joe that you like.
Yeah, it's
he's,
the
he's not
street.
handcuffed. He's talking everything there. He only got 6 episodes.
This is the uncontrolled Joe.
That's not the uncontrolled.
It's not uncontrolled,
It's
but
like
it's-
it's the put like this. He pretty much he knows he's at the end of it. It
Yeah.
is right.
You
So
can't get me
he's
what I'm
putting everything out there, which the reason why when you have a lot of people who back out of deals and contracts or whatever a specific way. But he put out there, hey, my lack of high school diploma, but it's the street mentality, the hustler mentality.
It's authentic.
It's authentic.
100% authentic. This is the Joe that you
He
want.
Revolt in the beginning of his show.
Before they reeled him in. I got
Right.
you.
Right.
That's why I tuned
Politically
into that
correct, right? He was politically
This is,
correct.
What's the
Complex, the one with academics.
Yeah, what's that show? Oh my
I
God.
forgot, but yeah.
Everyday Struggles?
Everyday
Yeah,
Everyday
that's what it
Struggles.
was.
This is him wilding out on that show.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you'll love
That's
this
the
show.
Joe that I like, not this new Joe that I'm like, why did you let them do that to you? Water you down, like. What
Well,
is
it's here's the
Get
thing.
to the side. get
Joe
40 minutes,
Budden's.
use it, you like it.
All right, so Joe Budden is our Zuckerberg or anyone else.
Right.
His deal that he did to take the beating he did for the 2 years he took it was so for no one else to have to go through that problem ever again. And we should thank him for it.
Okay.
He took the beating. So where Joe Rogan got the 7-figure deal,
Right.
and Joe Budden's got a 6-figure deal, a couple $100,000, to where it was paid for in 1 freaking hour, people. You have to understand that. All right? To where the rest of his deal, where he was supposed to get recouped and hit off, they keep giving him excuse after excuse after excuse. Now he's the deal he's going to get. Sorry, Apple. I already know how Apple rolls.
Yeah.
Apple loves rolling up on people and taking it from people. The deal he's going to get now is going to shatter anybody else, but he's going, because now he's going to get the LL Cool J deal. And it's the reason why I say that. LL Cool J can sell 10,000 records and make more than someone who sold 10 million. You know why? Because LL owns his masters. That's his deal.
ALL.
He owns his master. So the deal they go into, with the next deal they go into, they're going to own more. They're going to have percentage.
Yeah.
Okay.
This deal is going to be ridiculously big.
Ooh. So I have to listen now. They convinced
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
I can't. Don't even worry about nothing else. Just sit yourself aside. Make sure your son ain't gonna bother you. Just sit down, listen to it. 40 minutes, you get out.
Okay, Joe. I guess I'm going to listen, just like these guys are going to listen to Christina Aguilera's Reflections.
I'm going to listen to it probably tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
And again, Wakanda Forever, rest in peace. Sad day, but this is the end of August. We should really prepare for September. We have no idea what's going to happen in September. But I guess we'll live to tell it. I don't know what's going to happen. We have September, October, and then November. I'm afraid whatever happens in November is just going to be massive. What is the day that we vote?
November.
Third?
November
The third?
November 3rd.
And then kids supposed to go back to school November 15th.
Yeah.
Go back to school November 15th for what?
The
Well,
first market period is
the
remote.
first
for
market
us.
period they kind of tore it up and say, okay, November 15th, up until November 15th, every class student that's not have to go to school will do virtual. And they gave the second market period starts after that. So their plan is to get kids back into the schools, which is why they're trying to rush this whole what do you call it? They're trying to rush the vaccine. Because that thing is going, any student who does go is going to have to get vaccine.
Well, I would imagine they would make it mandatory for all kids, just like they make it the flu shot mandatory.
Of course.
Well, they don't
But
make the
thing
flu
is
shot. They
that
make
we're talking about flu season.
scary.
I mean, okay,
Scary.
I'm just a parent.
Scary.
And sometimes I do have common sense, and I'm thinking to myself, with the flu season approaching, maybe it's more likely to have school open in January when we're done with the flu season, kind of, and everybody's done being sick, and we can push forward.
Which has killed more people than the coronavirus.
I'm sorry, excuse me, Truth, you cannot say that out loud. Okay, you cannot, damn it, say that out loud.
No way.
People
near
don't
that.
like the truth.
Yeah, they
Truth.
don't.
Can you hear him? He's about to sit here try to school people and tell them that
Exactly.
the flu. Do you know how many arguments I've gotten into about the flu versus the coronavirus? Because God forbid you mention the flu, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's not the same thing." Okay, but there are deaths. But you know what? Be paranoid. If y'all want to live your life scared and be afraid, go ahead. The rest of us are gonna live. There are people out in Jamaica right now. There are people out in Mexico. Guess what? People are flying and they're living. Okay? They just do what they're supposed to. They put a mask on and they keep moving. Alright? They don't let the coronavirus stop them. They're just like there are plenty of people out there that have never been sick. Did I say that out loud? There are people out there that have never been sick. It's true. And guess what? Y'all missed it when the president said he also takes. Do I dare say it?
Why not?
Zinc. He said it, y'all. He said he takes zinc. A lot of your health professionals and your natural health professionals will
Never
tell
get
you
sick. Never get sick.
to take zinc. Shocker!
Well, of course, the $1 trillion company don't want to, pharmaceutical companies don't want you to know that.
But President Trump let it slip on purpose that he takes zinc. I'm just saying. The rest of us take it too. Which would kind of be why we don't get sick. But hey, you know what? Thank you, Jesus. Because I am very grateful that I haven't gotten sick. I don't want to get sick. I don't want these guys to get sick. We take the necessary precautions, but at the end of the day, the flu is still a problem.
Yes, it is.
But I understand. Listen, we're going into voting season, and everybody right now is paranoid, and everybody right now wants to have their ballots mailed to them. However, we stand in line for the DMV. We stand in line at the grocery store. We stand in line at the hardware store. We stand in line for everything else, but we don't want to stand in line to go vote. If you're still trying to argue with me about why you should go vote in person versus having a mail-in ballot, then we have problems. Now, everybody should exercise their right to vote. However, I'm on the Diddy side where I might just hold my vote hostage because I ain't feeling Biden like that. Kamala just, I hate to say it, but just because her one side is black and the other side is not, I can't get with it. She never did anything for me. I was just happy it wasn't Stacey Abrams that was named VP. But then again, then you have Trump. I'm not a registered Republican. I didn't say I was gonna vote for Trump. Maybe I did. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. But I'm not voting for Biden. That doesn't mean I'm voting for Trump. I'm just not voting for Biden. I might write in a name. Who knows? But if we're gonna vote, don't vote because somebody else told you who to vote for. Vote for who you want to vote for. Like, if I'm having a conversation with Jeff, I'm not gonna say, Jeff, vote for Trump. No, Jeff, you should vote. Vote for who you want to vote for.
Right.
And if you don't want to vote because you don't believe in anybody, you have that right. Just go and write in a name. Say Mickey Mouse for all you care. Write a name in. But at the end of the day, don't let people bully you. Democrats love to bully people. Everybody's talking about race this, race that. We need to get Trump out. You haven't told me why you needed to get Trump out. What did Trump do? Oh, he's a racist. So is Biden. Biden's not a racist. Y'all want to
point.
go back into his 40-year history? He's not a racist?
Good point.
Oh, but he's better than Trump. Again, what did Trump do? Biden was vice president for 8 years. What did he do for us? I have one person who's gay. He wants to vote for the Democrats because he wants to protect his marriage.
Okay.
I really don't recall Trump ever saying he was coming after gay marriages. But, I mean, you do what you have to do what's best for you. Again, I'm not going to sit here and tell him not to vote for Biden. He can vote for whomever he wants to. He's not sold on Kamala. But, again, we had this conversation last week about who in 2024 should be the VP for the Democrats. And we're talking about Pete Buttigieg. I asked one gay person if he is a good candidate, and that person said yes. I was like, what? They thought Pete was fine. Then I asked another person, non-gay, and they said no, he was not a good candidate. Like, what does he have to offer? And so it's mixed with the opinions about that. But other than that, listen, I think this is a time to really evaluate people's actions. If you are in a position where you're listening to Biden, listen to what he is saying. Listen to how these politicians answer questions. Because you can ask point blank, Jeff, do you believe in reparations for black people? Jeff's answer to me will be about everything but answering the question about reparations for black people, which leads you to want to ask, well, it's a yes or no question. Do you believe in reparations? Well, everybody deserves that's not an answer.
Right.
I didn't ask you that. Now, if I ask you something about Jews, you'll give me a straight answer about Jews. If I ask you something about gays, you'll give me a straight answer about gays. But every single time someone asks about black people and reparations, it's about everybody. You see how that works?
Yep.
And if a party, I will say this, if a party is so consumed with making illegals legal, then you also have another problem. Because that means they're no longer about you, they're about illegals. So you have to ask yourself, what are you going to do for me? I'm not an illegal, but you seem more focused on them than you are me. When do I fit in to your 4 years of your presidency? And the reality is, as a black person, we don't fit in until it's time for election. But y'all vote for how you want to. And that's the end of this show. We'll see you next week, honey, in September. I don't know what's going to happen. The gyms in Jersey, they open up September 1st at 25%. You got to wear a mask. So Governor, what you going to do about, Atlas Gym in Belmar? Are you going to stop this ridiculous war you got going on with them because they defied you? I mean, what you doing, sir? Because you said the gyms are open now September 1st. Truth, you going to the gym?
Bright and early.
You going to the gym?
Yeah, I need to. Gotta kill this baby weight.
What? The fellas are going to the gym. I'm going to the shore, so I'm not going to the gym. But we're going to find out from them exclusively next Saturday how it went at the gym. They're going to give us a detailed look as to what happened when they went. How did they feel? Do they feel sick? And we'll check in 2 weeks later, too, to make sure that they're still okay. And then we can kind of talk about whether you can get coronavirus from going to the gym. We're just doing our research, and we're going to keep it more Jersey Central. Okay? So thank you for tuning in, and until next time,